Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Own Your Health. Today is not necessarily a guide on how to be a patient, but we're rather focusing on some of the most important things that are expected of you as a patient when you encounter a nurse or a doctor at a health facility. In order for us to figure out what is wrong with you, we do an evaluation, and it is called history taking. This is basically a conversation between you as a patient and your healthcare provider about what is wrong with you, what has brought you to the hospital. Of course, we anticipate this information to be true, and you only give this information to somebody that you obviously trust. So, here are some of the basic things you'll be asked during a consultation. Your full name. We would like to know your first name, your middle name, and your last name. This is solely for the purpose of identification, whether you're being seen as an outpatient in a clinic or you're being seen as an inpatient in the hospital. We also want to know your age. How old are you? This is very helpful because certain diseases present during certain age ranges, so it's important to know your date of birth. Where do you stay? Your address. There's certain parts of the country or even in the world that have certain diseases. So this really helps us put all the clues together and figure out what is wrong with you. This is the most important part of the history taking. What happened to you? Why did you come to the hospital today? And even if you've had an illness for so many years, why is it that you presented today? Remember to be as detailed as possible, listing all your symptoms from the beginning up until the very end and how they make you feel. Don't be shy to share all the information. Would also like to know the medication that you're taking. This is very crucial because sometimes you're experiencing side effects from the medication. It is not enough to know the color of the pill or the shape of the pill, but rather make an effort to know the exact medication that you're taking, how long you've been taking it for, and if you've been experiencing any side effects or they've been recently changed, please notify your healthcare worker. There are certain allergic reactions that can be very dangerous and life-threatening. So it's important that you inform your doctor or your nurse about the medication that you're allergic to, especially if it's a penicillin or any kind of food that you're allergic to, so no mistake is made and you're kept safe. Would also like to know your past illnesses. If you're living with a chronic condition, say HIV, diabetes, hypertension, let your healthcare worker know how long you've had it, what medication you take for it, because sometimes the symptoms that you're feeling right now are a complication of the illnesses that you already have or you've had in the past. Everything is connected. If you've been operated before and you can remember the symptoms you've had before the operation, what kind of operation you've had, when you've had the operation, and any complications that happened after you've been operated, that is very important and you should make it known, because all we're trying to do is link everything together and figure out what is wrong with you right now. Make an effort to find out from your family members if they're suffering from any chronic illnesses, whether it's a mental illness or it is a heart condition or it's diabetes or epilepsy, because some of these diseases are familial, meaning that they can be passed on from one generation to another. So it's important that you know these things. And the last thing we would like to know is your social history. We're basically just looking at things like alcohol, drugs, and cigarettes. This is not for any kind of judgment. Healthcare workers are basically there to help you. So inform them how long you've been taking these illicit drugs and if you've been experiencing any kind of addictive behavior towards them. And they'll point you to the right direction so that you find help. And that's it. That is all that's required from you as a patient. Of course, this was just a basic outline and it may change and vary depending on which department you present to, what kind of illness brought you to the hospital. But these are the basic things you will be asked. And it's important that you as a patient are aware of what you're going to be asked so you give information that is true and factual. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Own Your Health. I will see you in the next one.